Come on. How's everyone doing today? Haven't done a garden video in a while. Say hi, Bri. Say hi. So I figured I'd give you guys an update. There's been a couple incidents. Garden's not doing as good as it was. But I'll explain it to you. So, you see my tomatoes fall over. That's what happens when you go cheap on the tomato cages. They just ended up falling over on me, which I didn't want to lift them up and bust them off, so I just figured I'll just leave them, see how they do. It's better than snapping them off and destroying the plant. We got some other things going on. You see these? That's my acorn squash, my spaghetti squash, and also my zucchini. You see it over there. Got some vine borer issues, which I did try to do some surgery over the weekend and open up the stems and kill the vine borer, and then cover it in dirt. Hopefully they'll bounce back. That is if I got it soon enough. If not, hey, it's something that I'll prepare for next year. There is a way that you can kind of prevent, or at least try to prevent, the vine borers naturally, and that's with covering the stem of the squash plant. Because what happens is the vine borer, they come by and then they lay an egg at the base of the plant, and then when that egg hatches, that grub bores into the squash plant and eats, and that's its food source. So if you cover the stem, it keeps dude, go play. Guess the bumblebee doesn't want me in his garden. Anyways, if you cover the stem, it keeps the grub from being able to bore in to the stem. So pretty sure at this point, at least, that's what the plan is for next year. But honestly, if they don't make it, I have tons of spaghetti squash and tons of acorn squash. So I'm not going to be too heartbroken if those plants don't pull through. Because, I mean, you can only give away so much. Got some, I don't know if you can see it there. So you got some ripe tomatoes in there. There's a couple more. I did try to pick up the one part, bust it off. So I just left it, Seems to be doing all right. Of course, a couple of the tomatoes on the bottom will probably rot, but that's great. That adds organic material to the garden. My peppers are doing awesome. I actually cut some of these off over the weekend. My cucumbers still doing great. I'm not sure what's going on here with these leaves, but I mean the cucumber plant is still producing like crazy. My eggplant is also doing great. I picked some of these off too. There's all kinds of good eggplants on there. Yeah, now you get a better view of the squash plant or the zucchini. I don't know if it's gonna make it. I hope it does, but I don't know. I mean, the thing is it's still producing fruit. There's a zucchini there. I mean, there's a little bit of yellowing, but hopefully I got far enough in to kill it. about that. Had to go track down my dog. If you don't pay attention to him for a minute, he likes to go explore, visit the neighbors. So I try to keep him in my yard. There's plenty of it. There's no reason that he needs to go look elsewhere for fun. So anyways, one cool thing though, you know, great thing about carrots, you can plant in the spring and then again in the summer to have a fall harvest. And Julia is loving picking these fresh carrots, washing them off and eating them. So we got a couple more planted. See all the little babies? Had some empty space here, and then actually this is empty because she's been harvesting the carrots. And then we got some babies coming in there, which I wanted to grow them inside of the fence to keep them from being eaten. This is my lemon cucumber. We grew that from a seed. The thing's taking over up the fence. I can't even get over to that side. I think it even took over my cantaloupe. My cantaloupe is right there under the lemon cucumber. We'll go over on that side and see. Yeah, I mean the acorn squashes, they look great. You see how green this is? That's a spaghetti squash from over there. It's connected to one of those that are dying. I don't understand how this over here looks so lively and is growing. And there's all kinds of spaghetti squash. But you see the plant does look pretty bad. So, you see a squash we better harvest. Get them both actually. I mean, for having vine borers, I'm amazed it's still producing like it is. So, the cantaloupe is somewhere in here. I think this is actually it. Right down here, right there. Now you see that? That's a watermelon. Coming from the watermelon back there. And I can't even get over there to get into the lemon cucumbers. I'll show you another cool thing real quick. On the outside, it's a little cantaloupe. We're gonna have some cantaloupe. It's growing good. See, I'm glad that even though the cantaloupe is being smothered by the lemon cucumber and the watermelon, at least it ran off to the fence and started climbing up the fence. So it looks like we should have some good production. A lot of flowers. Here's a baby here. Hopefully that one pollinated good. And here's lemon cucumber taking over the fence. I mean, there's just an abundance of them. Gonna have a lot of cucumbers. If you want some cucumbers, let me know. So, what had actually happened to the garden, and again, it all comes back to consistency. I've talked about this a couple of times, but without consistency, it's hard to be successful. And so I neglected the garden for a few days. Generally, I'm in here daily, but buddy came in from out of town, so we spent 3 days fishing, and I neglected the garden. And in my opinion, you know, maybe those 3 days of not catching it in time was the reason that it got so bad. So lesson learned, you know. Also, I could just be being hard on myself, you know. But most important thing is if you learn from it, so you don't do it next time. So check out this watermelon. I mean, this thing is nice. It's the size of my hand. But you see this curlicue? You can't pick that watermelon until that curlicue dies back all the way. Kind of like, you see how this one is? This curlicue here? It's dead. But I don't see a watermelon attached to that one. But that's how you tell that they're ready for harvesting. Strawberries are doing great, except for a couple weeds here and there. Other than that, they are doing pretty good. Of course, they're not gonna really produce anything until end of summer, probably. You see, I pull my weeds and I drop them on the ground, adding more organic material to the soil, to the ground, which is gonna feed my garden. Because remember, from now on we're going no-till. We're gonna put away the tiller and just try to mimic nature. Some people call it lasagna gardening because you do everything in layers. You know, like layer of compost, layer of carbon material like cardboard or leaves, layer of green material like grass clippings, food scraps, stuff like that, layer of mulch, you know. And what happens is that perfect combination breaks down all that organic material and feeds the soil and produces nutrient-rich topsoil, which in turn produces nutrient-rich veggies. So that's the plan for next year. Just wanted to do a video real quick and show you how terrible my garden looks right now. Still putting out all kinds of veggies. I give them away by a box fulls, which is a great thing. But anyways, I'll check in a couple of days, you know, keep you posted on how the squash rebounds, if the surgery worked. What I am anticipating is that maybe it worked for some but didn't work for others, so we'll see what happens. You guys have a great night.